Welcome back to the On My Hoops podcast, where we bring you the latest news and insights from the world of basketball. In today's episode, we got a lot to cover, including Ja Morant's return from suspension, Lonzo Ball's latest injury setback, and Michael Jordan's potential sale of the Charlotte Hornets. We'll also dive into the NBA's potential new CBA agreement, Ben Simmons' departure from Clutch Sports, and Bogdan Bogdanovic's new extension with the Atlanta Hawks. And of course, we'll give you our top 5 MVP front runners. So sit back, relax, and let's talk some hoops. Welcome, everybody, to another one. Once again, it's On My Hoops podcast. And once again, it's your boy, John J. And with me, as always, is the one and only D Snow from the Gold. D Snow, holla at the people.
Make them say, na. What's going on out there? On My Hoops fans, man. We back in the house doing our thing. We winding down to the end of the season. It's cracking. It's popping. Every night is, man, crazy out there, man. I know you've been enjoying this basketball, Jay.
Man, without a doubt, my brother. It's been a wonderful time. I can't.
Yes,
and it's definitely a lot to talk about. But before we get into all of that, I gotta give a special shout out to the one and only Evie Mux, man. So check this out. Have you ever wondered how to make your videos look and sound more professional? Well, look no further than Evie Mux. As an affiliate, I could tell you firsthand that Evie Mux is the ultimate recording software for any content creator. With its easy-to-use interface and top-notch sound quality, Evie Mux is the perfect solution for your recording software, for recording your next video, podcast, episode, voiceover, or music track. And the best part is you can get a free trial using our affiliate link right down below. So what you waiting for? Check out Evie Mux today and take your content to the next level.
And Evie Mux we trust.
And Evie Mux we trust.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So D Snow, first topic of the day, my brother, my man, and yours, Ja Morant. It was announced he had to sit down with Adam Silver, and they suspended him for a total of 8 games, but time served for the games that he was already out, so he is eligible to return on Monday. D Snow, his boys held it down without him, man. They still tied for the number 2 spot with your Kings. But the man, the myth, the legend, is coming back. What do you think, one, what do you think that impact is going to be? Do they jump right back into the spin of things, or does it take them a minute to get back into the swing? And 2, did he learn his lesson?
I mean, I'm not going to lie, bro. For one, I'm so excited to see Ja, man, come on back to the league, do the thing he loves to do, the thing he's been doing his whole life. You know, the thing he's worked so hard and put all of his blood, sweat, and tears into doing. I mean, you know, this is a kid that got it out the mud. You know, he, worked hard to get to the league and to get his first shoe and to be on the Grizzlies and to be in the position that he is. And to see him almost throw it away, it did kind of scare us off. We always watching from afar. We're in the bleachers watching, and, some people had good things to say about him. Some people had bad things to say. And I'm just excited to see that he came out of this on the other end unscathed, because it could have been a lot worse. The kid could have got hurt. He could have lost his career, could have lost his endorsements, could have lost his life. Anything could have happened with the situations and the decisions that he was making. And I'm not going to lie, it's nice to see that, hopefully he's, learned his lesson. I mean, everybody out there by now has seen the video, the interview with Jalen Rose and, the things he said. And my hat goes off to Ja. I mean, not only did he stand up and, atone for his, his mistakes, he didn't, talk about other guys or say this person or that person's name. He just stood up and said, it's my fault. I take full responsibility. It was a learning moment. And I said this on the last episode. I said this could either be a bad situation or this can turn into a learning moment where not only Ja can be better out of this, but now he can be a spokesman to tell guys under him to not make those mistakes and to not do the wrong things. And the big thing about this, man, let's take our hats off to the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, bang, your boy, what's your boy? That's a shame. I always forget his name. Brooks.
Brooks.
Hey, Bane and Brooks, they really have held that team down. The one guy who me and you always talk about, we didn't know if he deserved to be an all-star. Hey, Jaren Jackson, Triple J, that boy's been playing his ass off as of late. I mean, putting up numbers, rebounds, playing defense, doing everything. You know what I'm saying? So I really got to say that they turned into that couple of years ago, last year team where they played really well when he's not around. And they really, really held it down. I mean, for them to be sitting in the second, spot right now in the West, the toughest, division in the league, 42-27, with about, basically about what they got 17 games left, something like that. To get Ja back at this moment is a chance for them to not only get better and start to gel again, but I think that they really have a chance to make a deep run. Now, I actually was calling them falling out of the race. I didn't know if Ja was going to get only the 8 games in time served like he got. I didn't expect that. But, hey, I'm happy that's what he got. I never want to see anybody, really, really get hit on the head hard on their first offense. We all should get a second chance, and this is what he's getting. So now he has to take advantage of that and not blow it up. But this team is not only primed to really play well and go far, but, man, they got their superstar back with a chip on his shoulder and the reason to really give it all. So this could be man, it's going to really – this is going to shake things up, man, especially if Durant doesn't come back healthy. I mean, Memphis might start to be a favorite out there.
Yeah. You make a good point about Durant. We don't know if and when he's coming back and how he looks once he does. But, yeah, it's great to see Ja back. We've been missing him.
Yeah.
It was also great to know that his team held it down without him. Like you said, Jaren Jackson Jr. could be a defensive player of the year, a strong candidate this year, very likely winner. But, I mean, he's coming back to a team that did not lose their spot. I mean, they're tied with your boys right now. And they're doing their thing, and it was good to see. And I don't know if the people tuned in to the Jalen Rose interview with Ja, but he looked sincere from our perspective, at least. He acknowledged what he could. He couldn't talk about much because right now still dealing with a lot of that stuff. But it was good to see what appeared to be remorse in his eyes. Can I say for certain that he's learned his lesson? I can't, but it looked like it from our perspective. He's going through counseling right now, so that was good to hear. But Ja is one of the biggest talents this NBA has ever seen.
Hey, especially with Zion going down again with that big injury. Right now, Ja is the young face of the league. Let's be 100.
Yeah, Yeah. And he's the guy that the kids are gonna look up to, like it was Iverson when we were younger.
No doubt about it. I like the comparison.
Yeah. So Ja's a major role model going forward. So hopefully he has fully learned his lesson.
Yeah.
And I do like their chances. He still got enough games to come back and get their chemistry back. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Ja would be in that MVP race if he had a full season behind. Let's be honest.
He would, but the question mark about that is how well they maintain when he goes down.
Yeah. I think this time they were forced to compared to before. This time, and because let's be honest, I mean, with him, they went through a stretch when they weren't playing well. They did go through a tough spurt, and they dropped down to like 4 or 5, and all of a sudden they back up to 2 and playing strong right now. I mean, even though that game the other day, one of the last games that they won, it was an overtime where they had to come back from down 20. Just the fact that they still did it though, without Ja, that meant a lot. And I think that really, really propels them when it comes to, just being ready for the end of the season. It's going to get tougher, and they need wins like that coming from behind to show people that they still can do it, man. That team is potent and deep. I mean, they got a foreigner on that team. I don't even know who that guy is, but he shoots threes. He does a lot. What's his name? What's his name? Because you the name guy.
I don't got it right now. I'm not sure.
You know what I'm talking about. He plays I think he plays power forward for them. He's a tall guy, but man, he plays defense.
It might be the rookie that you're talking about, but his name right now has escaped me. I didn't know him that well coming into the draft.
And if you notice, they've been starting to play our boy a little bit more too. What's the kid that came up from the D League, the light-skinned center?
Kenny Lofton.
Man, we all love what Kenny Lofton has a chance to bring to the game. Kenny Lofton Jr. got some game, man. And the thing about it is you got to get your feet wet. We're seeing, and matter of fact, the funny thing is we're seeing that over in Detroit. Well, now all of a sudden, Wiseman is starting to get minutes. And what are we seeing from Wiseman? Buckets.
Yeah, I think it's the pressure. The pressure changed for him.
Yeah, not playing for the world champs no more.
Yeah, but
I'd rather play for the world champs than the world dumps.
Yeah, but as far as Kenny Lofton, you mentioned, he kind of reminds me of a young Big Baby Davis.
Yes, sir.
And that could be crucial in the playoffs in a 7-game series. You got that big body banging, wearing you down.
He got that Zoe. What was the kid that was the center for the Memphis Grizzlies back in the day? Big folks.
Zach Randolph.
Yeah, he got that Zoe type of game. That body, throw you in that post, back you down, start come out to the end, hit that little 3. He got that same type of game.
Yeah.
Shout out to Big Zebo.
How that song go? Big body busting out the back.
Big dude, man. Big body's that's a stink person in the league these days to see a big body that can go down there and bang. Shout out to DeMarcus Cousins. Can't get a contract right now.
For real.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be great to see Ja come back. We all gonna be tuned in Monday. I know I am.
Big fact. Oh, the whole world will be.
They're gonna be at home against Dallas. Hopefully Luka is back. Can't wait to see it. But moving along from our boy Ja Morant to our other guy, and some rough news. The kid is going back under the knife, D Snow, for the 3rd time in 14 months. They're saying that next season, the 2023-24 season, is in jeopardy. His career might be in jeopardy. The Bulls still got him under contract for about another 2 more years after this. D Snow, 1, will we ever see Lonzo back to himself again? And 2, what does this mean for the Bulls? They cannot use the excuse when we got Lonzo anymore. He's not coming back, at least no time soon.
I mean, how fun was it watching Lonzo Ball play for the Chicago Bulls? Let's be honest here. How fun was that team? That team was a top 4 team, fighting to win in big games, as a matter of fact, that Lonzo Ball Bulls team was starting to give Chicago Bulls fans their swag back. We were starting to talk our ish. We were believing that we was on our way back. Guys that had stopped watching were starting to watch again. He really bought, with the additions, of course, of DeMar and of Zach, of Zach LaVine. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. It hurts me because I've always been a Lonzo Ball fan since UCLA. Love the whole family. Used to watch the show. I almost bought the shoes because I wanted to support the whole situation. I'm a dad raising athletic kids that are trying to get out here and do their thing, and I really love the whole ball movement. I'm not gonna lie. It was a part of my life. Around the guys around me, we talked about this. They created a buzz that was unlike no others. And to see not only him but his brother out for the season with big injuries, it's kind of sad, man. I feel bad for them right now because they've done everything it takes. They never get in trouble. They don't say the wrong things. Okay, the other one was dumb and stole some sunglasses when they were in China, which to this day, blows us all. But besides that, they've always been some stand-up kids. Yeah, dad runs his mouth, but they play ball and back it up, and they're good guys. You never hear anything bad said about either one of those guys. And I think I saw something about like a cartilage transfer or something. They trying something different with this surgery. Like, this isn't just your average knee surgery that he's doing. And I've been getting hit a lot out there on Facebook and Twitter and all of that because I've been saying, Brandon Roy all over again. They say I'm disrespecting Brandon Roy. They say Lonzo Ball is more like Greg Oden.
Wow.
And they're correct, man. Let's keep it 100. What has Lonzo Ball done? He has had some spurts, but he hasn't done anything for anybody, and it hurts to see this, man, because he was starting to play well. He was the glue guy for the Bulls. And as soon as he went out, just like when Zion went out, for the Pelicans, same thing for me. When Lonzo Ball went out, the Bulls team changed, and they've never been the same. It's like they took a knockout punch, and they haven't been able to recover from that. And it's hurting, man. What you think about it, man?
It hurts. Obviously, you see the cap that I love to wear.
Yeah.
It hurts as a Bulls fan. It's like the Derrick Rose situation all over again. We've seen this movie play out time and time again.
Derrick Rose, Jay Williams, and Lonzo Ball.
Yeah. It's always the point guard. We have the worst
great point guards at that. Great point guards, not just solid. Those guys were all stars.
Yeah, but I really feel for the kid.
Yeah.
He came into the league under scrutiny because his father was talking. He was quiet. He went out and balled. Every chance he got being on the court, he was effective. You could see the stamp that he was putting on each game, whether it was the Lakers, the Pelicans, or the Bulls. But he has not been able to stay on the court in any season. So it's sad. My heart goes out to him. I know how big of a basketball family that is. It's got to be crushing to him. And he's still sitting there at every Bulls game on the sidelines with a smile on his face.
I would be too. The bag you get.
Yeah.
No, but I feel you, man.
It's some consolation in that, without a doubt. Yeah. But still, he's still that young, and the dream might be dead or dying. Hopefully this last surgery can do the trick. I want to see him back out there. I'm not hopeful that it'll be next season, though. Yeah. As far as the Bulls go, they're going to have to find a way to replace the point guard. And hopefully the NBA can, approve some type of insurance deal or something like that. Let them recoup some of that money back.
Yeah, the Bulls deserve something for that because that's tough. He's been gone for basically 2 seasons now.
He played a half a season of a 4-year contract so far. So that hurts as a fan, and just to see him go through that.
Yeah.
So I wish him the best. I know we both do.
Yeah.
But so moving along from one guy who started going upwards to the injuries hit to another guy who kind of started off hot and went backwards. Ben Simmons and Clutch Sports part ways. Clutch Sports had been with Ben since the draft. They walked in the league together. Clutch Sports got Ben Simmons $177 million for 5 years. And then they mutually parted ways. Clutch Poor said, hey, I'm sorry. You're not going to get it again. Peace. What do you think about that, D Snow? I know you burning over there. I know you got something to say about being in this contract. Is he ever going to see something even close to it again?
Hey, this is the actual definition of you are bad for the brain. Over here, we're building winners, championships, rings. Sorry, Ben, but
coffees for closers.
You're a Kardashian. Sorry, but your values don't match up with ours. And that's basically. I mean, bro, remember when they were saying that Ben Simmons was the next LeBron? Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gone. Hey, you know what? My biggest comparison to this, Ben Simmons has fallen off like a running back in the NFL.
Whose fall off is worse, Ben or Zeke?
Damn, you hit it on, bro. So my little thing I jotted down right here. If you went back 5 years with Zeke Elliott and Ben Simmons, they were on top of the world. Both of those guys were on top of the world in their sport. Ben Simmons was an all-star. He was being talked about. He was dating Kardashians. He was doing it all. Ben Simmons was the man 5 years ago. Zeke Elliott, the same thing. The man. Mr. Feed Me.
Yeah.
The man. And
belly out.
Bro, and it's amazing, okay, and the thing we'll give this to running backs. That's a proven commodity that we've seen in the NFL. That running backs are 5 year span. We see that all the time. The fallout that Ben Simmons has gone through over the last 5 years is tremendous, and it's probably never been seen before. Because what happened? It's like somebody casted a magic spell on him and he just magically lost his skills. And I'm not gonna lie, this really shows you what confidence means. Because you can't tell me that in his body he doesn't still have the skills. But once you lose that confidence, it's over. That's the thing that people don't understand about the highest level of sports. No matter if it's baseball, basketball, hockey, tennis, golf. Everybody's good. But it's mental. It's mental now. Now it's mentally, how can I beat you? How can I browbeat you down to mentally beat you so I'm winning before we even start? That's why Michael Jordan is the best player in the world. That's why he's the GOAT. And nobody will ever be able to take that from him. Because mentally, 10 games away, you was thinking about, we play the Bulls soon. And that's the thing, man. It's kind of sad because I think that Ben Simmons is a phenomenal basketball player. I think he has some great skills. He plays defense. I mean, I love seeing him on the break. Man, on the break, that man, I've seen him throw some really nice passes. I've seen him catch lobs. I have seen some great Ben Simmons highlights. And at this point, I mean, what is he, 26? It's sad, I mean, what you got on that one, man?
Yeah, I'm just going to piggyback off of you a little bit. I agree. It's a sad state of affairs. The sky was the limit for this kid. He came out rookie of the year. Well, he came out injured to start his career. But then rookie of the year, all-star.
Yeah, he was part of that.
Kardashian.
He was a part of that. Believe in what was the motto? Trust the process. Trust the process. He was part of that.
Trust the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So it's sad. Like you said, confidence is key or killer. It's crazy to see how high his arrow was pointing. It is the exact opposite at this point. His descent is historic, I think. He went from not shooting the three to not shooting the thing. He's not even driving the lane and dunking on people. At least that was the exciting part of his game. That and his, defensive prowess. So it's tough. At least he got his bag.
Yeah.
Get your bag, young fella.
Yeah, you can live off 177 mil.
No doubt. Hopefully, you've been with a Kardashian. You probably ain't been spending very wisely.
Shout out to Jordan Poole, Mr. 500K.
Yeah.
That boy's a munch.
They say it ain't tricking if you got it.
Man, yes it is. Use a trick, Jordan, on my mama.
Man. Yeah, these youngsters are different, man. They're different. But yeah, it's sad. And you don't want to see that coming. You don't want to see that going on in the NBA. These youngsters going downhill as soon as they get their money. It's at first I was thinking, is it Philly? Because remember Markelle Fultz?
It's tough to play in Philly.
Number 1 pick, and all of a sudden he forgot how to shoot. And maybe it could be that pressure, but Embiid took off with it. Pressure.
Markelle Fultz is playing well, but his shot still is ugly though. No, I'm not gonna lie. When he went number 1, I didn't believe he should have been number 1 that year. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He is a pretty decent point guard, but number 1, I didn't see that year. So, I think it's mismanagement a little bit with Philly because they do need to be careful who they bringing in. You do have to bring in tough-minded guys. You can't bring in guys that's just gonna stay out the limelight because if you ask for it, you're gonna get it in Philly.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go down as one of the biggest mishaps, misdecisions, wrong choices, however you want to call it, in sports when they chose to not sign Jimmy Butler because of Ben Simmons. They officially made the wrong choice.
Jimmy said it.
Yeah, without a doubt. Can you imagine Jimmy and Embiid if they would have been playing together this long?
Oh, man. Especially if they would have added Harden anyway. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's
now we're talking about biggest, we might be talking a ring right there.
That's one of the biggest fumbles in the league.
Well, who saw that coming? Nobody saw him falling off like this, bro. You thought at least you was going to get, like you said, close to a triple-double. Even if it was 12, 11, and 10, you thought you was getting something like that from him with good defense every game. Like you say, right now for the Nets, he a body. You see, they've been just putting him on the injured list and all kind of. Ain't nothing wrong with that kid.
He was an annual 8 guy.
Easy, bro.
That's an all-star every year.
Yeah.
That's an all-star every year. I'll take that.
And he was. Yeah, that's a crazy fall-off, man. One of the biggest colossal fall-offs in NBA history, seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, that hurt. Someone else that looks like they hurt when he's watching the team play, but his pockets certainly ain't hurting for a damn thing. I'm talking about the greatness. Mr. MJ. Michael Jordan. He's in talks. He's shopping the Hornets. And y'all see D Snow doing the famous statue, the famous free throw line dunk over there. But he's in talks with Hornets minority owner Gabe Plotkin and Atlanta Hawks minority owner Rick Shawn to sell his stake in the team. D Snow. Is this a good idea for MJ?
So I got two sides to this about how I really feel, and I'm not gonna lie. My first feeling is we're losing a black NBA owner. Something I don't want to see in any sport. We don't have a lot of black owners. So having the GOAT as an owner of one of the teams to me means a lot. I really feel like he should be tied to the Bulls. He should have had some type of front office, some type of piece of the team. I think that was a colossal mistake by Chicago by not keeping him inside the house that he built. The Bulls will not be who they are without Michael Jordan. And for him to be any part of any other team to me is not only a travesty, but a mistake and just pure idiocy. idiocy for real. I think it's done, but I mean, I hate to see the fact that we might lose, like I said, a black owner. But on the other side of it, and this goes out to all the LeBron. I mean, not because it ain't even about LeBron fans. You know what? I'm gonna take y'all off that list. I apologize. Let's just call it Michael Jordan haters. Now, me being a little bit older, what people don't know is back in the day when Mike was running the league, Michael Jordan was the most hated player in basketball. Anywhere you went, they did not like Michael Jordan. People hated Michael Jordan. They hated the Bulls. I'm tired of y'all winning. I just want y'all to quit winning. Like, it was, and you see, Jay, they hated Michael Jordan. So y'all not new. Like, we used to that. Like, Michael Jordan has been getting hate forever. So y'all hate on this man and y'all dislike him and y'all make all of these posts, all of these different memes. But the thing y'all need to look at is, I saw a guy the other day say that it was a total failure, Michael Jordan buying the Charlotte Hornets. Michael Jordan bought majority stake in the Charlotte Hornets for $180+ million. From what we're hearing and what's being reported from ESPN and what we're seeing on Twitter and stuff like that, he might get somewhere upwards of $1.35 billion. Now, I don't know what school y'all went to, but the school I went to, the multiple schools I went to, because I got kicked out a couple of them because I went to, I'm from Chicago, baby. You know how we do it. Shout out to the Moles, But man, according to my math, I'm getting my calculator out, From my math, that means that Michael Jordan will be netting over $900 million out of this sale. So, I mean, sometimes you got to tip your hat to somebody. You can't hate the player. You got to hate the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Because not only has Michael Jordan flexed his muscles when it comes to the shoe game, but even in the ownership game, this man is finna walk away with a billy. A billy. And they ain't did nothing. The Hornets they barely had a couple of winning seasons. They ain't scratched the Eastern Conference Finals since Lonzo Morant was a And this shows you my basketball prowess and background, man. It's a win-win for what Michael Jordan is getting out of this, And I mean, like I said, the only problem I got is losing a black owner. But when it comes to making money, shout out to Michael Jordan for showing them once again that a young black man from North Carolina can move mountains, man. Shout out to Michael Jordan, straight up.
Yeah, another feat for the big guy. Moving closer up that Forbes list. If and when this happens, I think it's a good deal. MJ has not been one of the best as far as when he hit management and owner level. But what I will say, this last go around when he had brought in, what's the guy from the Lakers? Mitch Kupchak. He brought in Mitch Kupchak. He drafted Lonzo Ball. It's looking good for MJ.
Yeah.
As an owner.
Yeah.
But it's also the best time to sell.
Yes, sir. When the stock's up.
Yeah. So I ain't mad at him. This is what you go into business to sell. You start a business and you sell it. This is a profit. You said the numbers. So this is a win in my book. In most books.
What people don't remember is when Michael Jordan divorced, I think he lost $700 million or something like that to Juanita Jordan. It was something stupid.
Around there.
So this is pulling that back in. Now, and everybody goes through that in life. You got your ups and your downs. This Michael Jordan's ups and downs are a little bit different.
Yeah, those ups and downs come with bees.
Shout out to Mike, man. He's showing us how to do it, Mike.
Yeah, shout out to him. So, congratulations on him, running it up. And to the new owners, run it right. Run it right. If those are the guys that takes over, when news like this comes out, other people jump in too. So we'll see. It might be a lot of people that want to get a team with young Lonzo Ball or LaMelo Ball. But then again, they could be looking at the Ball family like, I don't know what the injury history. So that's something to watch going forward. But moving right along, the NBA and the NBA Players Association these Snow are close to an agreement on a new CBA. We mentioned earlier in the season that they were negotiating, that a strike was possible, but they had got an extension on the deadline. Now it looks like they're going forward. They're in advanced discussions on this new agreement, and in it comes a stipulation that a player must play in a minimum number of regular season games in order to be eligible for any of the major awards. So, could load management cost an MVP award? That's a lot of players, Steve Snow, that would probably render themselves ineligible depending on how many games that number finally that is. So what do you think about that ruling, about that potential stipulation? Do you like it?
Bro, I'm going to say a real dangerous word today. A word that nobody likes to hear, especially in sports, anywhere. I'm going to put it out there, bro. But I smell a strike, bro. I smell a strike coming, bro.
Well, I mean, it sounds like they in agreement. They sound like they close on this agreement from both sides. So
I'm hoping so, because it's a lot going on with the new agreements with that, as well as the TV deals. Guys talking about they want to shorten the season. It's a lot going on. Guys sitting out of games. The NBA scheduling these schedules the way they are. It's a lot going on out there. And to me, it sounds like a lot of, a lot of confusion and a lot of noise. They're trying to create, and I'm hoping that things go the right way, that we don't ever see a strike, or we don't see stoppage because of disagreements in some of these talks. But, I mean, I think it's a great decision, for one. We both agree on that, because we do see it where guys are sitting themselves because they're looking, everybody's ring chasing at this point in their careers, It's not about winning, it's about rings. So guys are sitting during the season to preserve that. But on the other side of it, some of these postseason awards can net you $500K, $1 million, 1.5, another $5 million, depending on what's in your contract. So what this is going to do is it's going to force some hands. If you haven't seen the big money yet, and there's an opportunity where you can make that extra money because you have made it to all NBA first team or Rookie of the Year, these guys are going to be out there putting forth more effort to play. They're not going to sit around like they have been doing. And so I think it is going to, force the players' hands to give us a little bit more action and hopefully make basketball a little more fun. But it's a lot going on, man, when it comes to the noise about playing time and money. Those two are sticking points that we're hearing a lot lately. So, hopefully these things get worked out. That, because I'm at this point where maybe we don't need 82 games. Like, let's go to 72 or 7. I love 82. I'm an old school guy. I think, hey, if guys could do it before, why can't they do it now? Medicine is better. Y'all supposed to be better. There's supposed to be a better era, right? That's what we see online all the time. This era is the best era. Play 82 games then. We shouldn't see guys sitting so much. So, I mean, hopefully this is a move in the right direction, that everything does get agreed upon and that, we see some great basketball in the future.
Yeah. Well said. I will say I get what you're saying, but I don't think it's going to go to strike. Sounds like they're in agreement with it. But as a fan, two things. One, you're allowed so many days to miss work before, you get points deducted, or, you come at risk for losing your job. That happens. Two, as a fan, some of these basketball tickets are very expensive. The average fan, they probably have to save up or take a few weeks' check to get one ticket, or enough for the family, 3-4 tickets. That hurt them to get that. And they got that because they wanted to see a Giannis, a LeBron, a Kawhi, AD. But the night that they've been planning for, probably months away, because that's the best way, the cheapest way for them to get the tickets, probably months in advance. But they wanted to see this game with these stars, and that game is a load management game. That person, that family that's waited all that time and spent all that money, they're not going to give a damn about playoff positioning. They care about all that money they just spent to go see LeBron perform, KD perform, Giannis perform. If you go to a concert to see a Beyonce, a Jay-Z, Drake, whoever, you're going to see them perform. Yeah. This is why you spent that money. If they don't, there's a problem. You need your money back. So I'm with it. I think it's a great idea. This needs to happen. Maybe it'll force the hand. These guys, these bonuses and awards that they get from MVPs and all pro teams or all NBA teams are in the tens of millions of dollars. Yeah. So I'm with it. I know you hurt, but unless you're injured, be out there. I'm tired too. I get up 5 o'clock every morning, 5 a.m.
I'm tired too.
I'm tired. I'm tired.
Yes,
record this show, still grinding.
Yeah, and I hate when dudes try to say, "Oh, well, that's not different. Your life not compared to their life." Right? They're getting paid way more than I do. They're getting paid a king's ransom for a child's game. So they should be willing to put forth a little more effort than I have to for my $18 an hour.
Now, if you want to play the guy less minutes, that be your load management. I'm okay with that, but let them be out there. I need to see them.
Yeah,
but they don't want to do that because that's gonna hurt their averages too much.
Yeah,
they don't want to see them scoring averages dip because they came and played 25 minutes one day. But I'm with it. I'm with it. They need to be out there if they can play, and they should play. I'm not for the load management. I think it's hurting the game.
Yes, sir. We'll go for 3 on that.
So, moving along from load management to big money. Talking big bank now. The NBA is looking into a new media rights deal. And looking to triple. Let me say it a third time. Triple their current TV revenue. Can you imagine, D Snow, with the way these player contracts are now? Can you imagine if they double and triple? Like this is insane. But they do say that they're getting a little bit of pushback from these companies though, because we see companies like Amazon getting the Thursday Night Football deal with the NFL, and YouTube TV winning the Sunday Ticket contract. They're waiting to see return on their investment for that before they jump into another major TV or streaming deal. But just what do you think about the possibilities of that for the NBA? You think they're gonna get triple for one? And where do you want to see them? Do you want to see them on streaming, or you want to see them stick around on TV?
Hey man, for one, it's a players' league, and we are players. You know how we feel about it. So, hey, I'm gonna throw a name out there, man. I think Luka could secure $1 billion contract. That's the type of guy I could see in the future. You know, when his contract comes down again, getting something stupid like that. He's that type of franchise guy. He's box office. Another name. Hey, Giannis. Giannis could secure $1 billion contract. Still a young guy. You know, a guy that can still give you another 10 years in the NBA of good basketball. There's a couple of guys out there that could secure a contract like that. I mean, you see what Steph's making right now. You know, I mean, it's crazy right now, but it's exciting. For the younger NBA fans, they love the stream. That is a part of life now. Streaming is where we are going. I think sometime last year it was passed that it ranked that streaming overpassed watching regular TV for the first time ever. You know, so I don't see that going in the other direction anytime soon. It's going to continue to go up with streaming. So I think it's important for the NBA to jump on board, to stay on track to where life is going, because yes, sometimes it feels uncomfortable, But if this is where everything is going, let's stick with it. Let's be a part of the new trends because, yes, as old NBA fans, we still want to cut on our NBA TV. We want to cut on our TNT, our NBC, ABC. We want to see that, no doubt. But we have to be honest. All of those stream now too. There's not a streaming platform out there that you can't just download on your TV or your phone and watch what you're looking to watch. So I think it's important. I think it's a great move because the NBA is really moving up when it comes to sports, in the world, not just in America. The NBA is starting to overpass the NFL. Let's be 100. The NFL is number one in America, but in the globe, our NBA is out there. They love us. We're getting players from all over. So I think it's a great opportunity to continue to grow the league, for us to continue to see great players coming from other places that we never thought, because that's how dreams start, just being able to see. Then it's about achieving, and that's why we got the Giannis's and the Embiids and guys like that now. So I'm excited to see, the next level of where the league's going. I love basketball. Been watching it since the 80s. I watched it really, really grow from one step to another, and I'm excited to see the next level.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's a good deal for the NBA. If you can get your money, go get your money. Without a doubt, without question. Now, here's where the question lies, where it gets interesting. From a fan's perspective, we love the streaming. Like you said, that's the future, that's the present, that's where we're at, that's where we're headed, everything. But most streaming companies are losing money. I don't know if you know that, or I don't know how many people watching know that. Most streaming companies are losing money. Your Disney Pluses, your HBO Maxes, all of these. They're losing money. So what that means for the consumer, price hike. If we get the NBA deal for any one of these guys, those sweet prices that we love so much to stream, it's going to probably double and triple as well. And money's got to come from somewhere.
Man, eggs is up, milk is up, gas is up, prices go up, man. It's a part of life. If you expect prices to stay the same or go down, then you are living in space. Like, it's part of the game, man.
But that's not that. It's not so black and white though, because yes, every year the price goes up, but streaming, they trying to put cable by the wayside. One of the benefits of streaming is cheaper than cable.
Yeah. Hopefully we see a renaissance, man.
That could change. It could go back up to being more than cable.
And that's the thing. Hopefully we see a renaissance where cable fights its way back into the game. We never know what's going to happen in the future.
I hope not, because I love streaming. I'm a fan. I've cut the cord. I cut the cord about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
So
shout out to anybody like me who still got a $300 Comcast bill. Yeah. It's stupid these days. I'm about ready to cut them off too. So, hey, shout out to streaming, man. Because I stream a lot these days. I'm not gonna lie. I used to kind of fight against it, but I'm part of the streaming world now too.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's easy access. Your whole family can log in on their devices wherever they at and get there and watch whatever. Don't miss a thing. So I love it as a fan, a consumer. I would love it to watch. Pretty much already watch the NBA on streaming, so it doesn't really change for me. But the price could change.
Yeah.
So I wonder about that. How does that look? We already see it them start to go up.
Yeah.
But it could be interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, I haven't asked yet, but y'all hop in these comments. Let us know how y'all feel about this TV deal. As a fan, do you want to see it even though it could come with a price hike? Do you want to see all your sports come their own individual streaming? Break it down. Tell us how you feel. But that's an interesting topic and something to look forward going forward. Because, like you said, these could turn into billion-dollar contracts for the players.
Yep.
Which is crazy to see. Would the mid-level be $100 million?
That's nuts.
I don't even know how to start thinking about that. But Moving along, NBA getting a bag to somebody else that just got a bag. Shout out to Atlanta Hawks. Bogdanovich just agreed to a 4-year, $68 million extension. This is after declining his player option from his last deal that he signed when coming to Atlanta, was a 4-year, $72 million contract. So this new deal kicks in right away next season. D Snow, what do you think about Bogdan and his new deal? Is it a good deal? Was it an overpay? Did Atlanta make the right decision?
They went from saying let's trade that man to paying that man. That's crazy to me. Because all you were hearing over the last season is they're trading him. He's on the block. You know, you've heard different trade offers. We've heard that something was going to get done constantly. So then he signs and then he loses $4 million in the deal. What part of the game is that, Bog? Straight up. Like, come on, Bog. You just pulled a Dennis Schroeder, bro. You lost millions in this deal. I know coming from where you came from, that's peas in the pot. You won't never notice it because you're making more money than anybody in your family ever seen.
Not necessarily, though, because that last year was declined. So he didn't get 72 off the first deal. He just jumped right into a new one. But he did lose some money. The per year would have went down by $1 million per year. But he probably gave up that $1 million a year to get a guaranteed extension.
And I mean, that's the thing. Guaranteed money is better than any contract in this world. So anybody that doesn't understand that, look into it. You want that guaranteed money because they can cut you and then you can lose a lot in that. The guaranteed money is yours. I don't care if they cut you an hour from now. That guaranteed money is in your pocket. So that is very important. So, I mean, shout out to the Hawks. They've been playing better since, you know, they made some decisions, you know, with the coaching and as well as just not only coaching, but just lineups and guys playing well together. They've been starting to turn things around because they were really sinking on that ship. So, I mean, hey, he deserves the money. He's been playing well for them. A knockdown shooter. He really does play well off of Trey and off of DeJounte. So, I mean, I think it's a great move to keep him there. I never understood why they wanted to trade him anyway. He's a pretty decent player, you know. So, shout out to Bogdan.
Yeah, I think they just they're paying a lot of guys. Yeah. A lot of guys on their roster is getting paid. And they haven't been winning enough games and selling playoff tickets.
It's cracking in the ATL. Don't say that now. They fill that stadium up, man.
Yeah, but I'm talking about playoff tickets. They got to have the games to sell the playoff tickets. That's
you right about that.
It's an expensive roster, so they want to see them keep advancing year to year. But it is a good deal. I think Bogdanovich is valuable to that team, and like you say, it is crazy. They went from trade bait to paying him. But a million less per year, it probably looks a little bit better on Atlanta's books. Makes it a little easier for them to swallow and keep the team together. So it could help them on both sides. But that is a valuable asset, and it's a good deal. He's been through free agency already. Now he just wants to be comfortable. So he took an extension with a team that he likes. And that doesn't say that he won't be right back on the trade block. That happens. Get your money. Get your guaranteed money. That's the one thing about the NBA. It's not the NFL. This money is guaranteed.
Yeah.
NBA, they take care of their players as far as that goes. So go and get it. I ain't mad at it. So I hate to go from some good news like this to bad news, but it needs to be mentioned because this is somebody that was in our youth, somebody that we used to see play basketball. And some sad news, I regret to mention Felton Spencer, 12-year veteran, dies at the age of 55. Reasons unknown. But those who are unfamiliar with Spencer, he played on 6 different teams in 12 seasons. He set in Louisville College, he set the single season and career record for field goal percentage. The career field goal percentage record still stands today. I'm not sure about the single season. He was drafted number 6 overall in the 1990 draft by the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's also played, I believe, for Orlando, Utah, few different places. But Felton Spencer wasn't a big time star, but he was a good player, a really good, solid player, and just want to pay him some respect today.
Oh yeah, man. Felton Spencer, old school dying breed centers. He was one of those guys. When we just had guys that rebound, give you a little bit when it came to points, play, defense, and was just a body out there. He comes from that time and space, and I remember he played with KG when he was a rookie. I remember that, KG, him, he one of those guys that schooled KG and brought KG along as a little pup. Felton Spencer's a guy you never heard anything bad about. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt, but he also took over for Shaq in Orlando after Shaq left for LA.
That's true.
He took Shaq's spot.
No, man. I mean, Felton was a solid player, man. A stand-up guy. Like I said, never heard anything bad about him. Never any bad news, any drama. He just was a solid guy that came out there, did his job, and you remember those old school days, Louisville, them, doing that thing in the tournament, playing pretty well, and then just seeing him get into the league. And I mean, he, like you said, just a solid veteran that gave you 12 years and moved on his life. You never heard anything about him after that. To see a guy die at the age of 55, that is a young age, like you said, it hasn't been reported, the actual cause of death. I know sometimes families like to keep that close to the chest, and we understand, but shout out to Felton, man. You did give us some pretty fun times in the league and on the floor. We don't know the demons or whatever you were dealing with in life, your personal life, but man, shout out to you as an NBA player, man. We enjoy watching you play, man, and RIP, man. Hopefully you're resting well up there.
Yeah, absolutely. RIP. Wishing the family well and all of the fans and organizations that he played for. Wish y'all the best. So, moving from that topic, let's lighten it up a little bit more. Giannis questions the criteria for MVPs. In an interview, he said, I believe and I know that people are dominating. So what is the MVP? Is it the guy that scores the most points?
Read it in his voice.
Is it the guy that scores the most points? Is it the guy who is most efficient? Is it the guy who is the most dominant? Is it the guy that is most valuable? Does Giannis have a point, do you know, as far as the criteria constantly changes for the MVP award from year to year?
Man, shout out to Giannis, a.k.a. Freaky Zeke. Now, man, let's keep it real. Let's talk about it for a second. What is the actual criteria of the MVP in the NBA these days? What is it?
It seems like everybody got their own.
Like, it's constantly changing. I mean, we can't even call it anymore. I remember it was years we were like, well, he's the MVP or he's like the last few years, yes, we have seen some dominant centers, power forwards winning the award. But, once we get into our topics today, mine has changed for a reason. Guys don't play defense in the NBA anymore. And to me, that should exclude you from the MVP race. Not exclude you. If you're having a good season, yes, you should be there. But when it comes to winning, and if it's a guy that's doing what you're doing and playing defense, I think that you shouldn't be getting it over him. And like I talked about before, everybody's ring chasing and it's about numbers now. All you ever hear every single week, every day is somebody's stat pad. They just said about Russ. They said about Luka. They said about Jokic. And we are seeing a lot of stat pad going on. So it is a problem where you don't have guys that are really, to me, the most valuable player is the guy that if you take him away from his team, that team is a good team. This is why Jokic has been at the top of my list a lot of weeks this year. And I can't lie. At this point, I think, that team is really playing well with him. I think if he sat down, which he has missed a couple of games here and there, they still play pretty well. So Now it's time to look around at other teams. But is that the criteria though? That's my criteria, I guess. Because from what we're seeing, we don't know. I don't know. I couldn't really tell you what the actual formula is that the NBA follows when it's time to pick an actual MVP champion. So I think something needs to be done. We have to figure something out. Let's have a board that does it. Let's figure out another way to bring hone this in a little bit more so we can make sure that not only that this award means the world to people, but that it's actually won by the guy that deserves it. Whose name is on the MVP trophy now? Is it Jordan or Kobe?
Jordan, I think.
Basically, either one of them.
Is that this year?
Yeah.
Does that take effect this year?
I think
it's the Jordan. Because Kobe got Magic got the Western Conference Award, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kobe got the All-Star.
Okay, it's Kobe. Okay.
Kobe got the All-Star.
So, basically, if you take a guy like Michael Jordan and put his name on the trophy, and you're saying if this is the Michael Jordan MVP trophy, what was Michael Jordan to the league? The most valuable player to the league, to his team, to everybody. So it shouldn't be a question when it's time to get that trophy out who it belongs to. Because just like we've seen the NBA play games with it, if a guy's we all know that there's no way that Jokic is going to win it this year because they've never gave it to a guy 3 times in a row since Larry Bird. And yes, Jokic is having a decent season, but they don't do it. We've seen that for over 40 years that they don't do it. So that's the thing. Like, we have to have an actual formula that people can follow and say, okay, he deserves it. And then that way it's not all the fighting and bickering between everybody when it comes to the fans and the players.
Yeah. I will say I'm with you. They don't do it as far as the 3 times in a row in MVP, but they could.
Yeah. A couple times.
It wouldn't surprise me if they do it. I think the noise is one thing that tends to sway the vote. By that I mean the media attention. Last few years, the public outcry for Jokic was very loud. The media attention was very loud. I believe a lot of those media guys are part of the voters. So it might be tainted by what's said on ESPNs and throughout the year, Stephen A. Smith stands on his feelings for Kyrie Irving. Guess what? Everybody watches tends to get a little bit of that rubbing off on them. So I think that sways the vote a lot. I'm with Giannis. The criteria does change. Last year, I thought that, although yes, he had a great season, but I thought that the 6th seed was too damn low to give an MVP award.
Especially with the way Embiid played last year.
Yeah, the number 6 seed, that to me that's just too damn low. You can't be MVP of a number 6 seed. You might be most valuable to your team, but your team ain't nowhere close to one of the most valuable in the league.
Remember when they released it last year, we were all shocked. Like, huh? He's MVP.
But the media outcry going, leading up was for Jokic.
Well, we know what that's about. Who runs the media?
Yeah. So yeah, the criteria does seem to change, but I think it's the public outcry and the media attention is what tends to change it. It sways the votes, in my opinion. So, and that's why I say that he could win it again, because you've heard a strong media outcry for him to win it again. But yeah, it's going to definitely be interesting. But I think from that point on, D Snow, that's probably the best place to leave that and go ahead on into the next topic, final topic, our favorite topic from week to week. Talking about them MVP rankings, man.
MVP.
Say, man, I got these MVPs, man. I got these MVPs. D Snow. Top 5 MVP rankings, and I'm gonna go ahead and start off with mine. Coming in at number 5. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got my main man, Luka the Don. Luka Doncic having a great season. Statistically, that is 33, 8, and 8 is unfreaking believable. In any year, most years this would win MVP probably 9 out of 10 years. The years he's having is insane, and he's had little help up until the trade deadline when they brought in Kyrie. But he's low on my list because team success, they've fallen in the rankings. He's missed a large amount of games. But he stays on the list because he's showing how valuable he is because they're falling without him playing. I think that means a lot. I think that goes a lot towards the vote. So Luka Doncic at my number 5 spot. After that, number 4, the Joker. The Joker's been having a great season. His numbers have dipped just below that triple-double mark, just a little bit. Hopefully he can get it back up there to finish the season, because that's something, a feat that I want to see at the end of the season, a center average and a triple-double. But their team has slid a lot at the wrong time to be sliding at the end of the season, D Snow.
That's right.
I'm losing confidence in that. That's my squad most of the year. But this is the bad time to start losing games like they have been. So it makes me a little bit nervous, and I also think that loses some points in my book for the Joker. So I got him dropping, and that scoring averages went down a little bit. His average fluctuates. It's either the scoring goes up to 25 and the assists drop under 10, or the assists go up to 10 and his points go under 25. So pick a lane. No, let me stop. But coming in at number 3, somebody that has been on this list all year, is having a great season, but it's kind of slid a little bit, mainly because 1, he has an amazing all-star teammate, and 2, they lost their first seed. And I'm talking about Jason Tatum, top American-born player in my book. But Jason Tatum's still having a great year. I got him above the Joker because he's playing defense. I'm not going to get into the importance of defense already because you just did in the last segment. But Tatum is still having an amazing year. And let's be honest, that top 3 in the votes is what really matters. So to get up there is an amazing feat in itself. But I think he's coming up short, just a little bit short to these other 2 guys that's going on unbelievable runs. And number 2, talking about my man and yours, Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid has been going insane. He has put that team on his back, and he is whipping people in the way in front of him. Like, he is just putting up insane numbers, leading the league in scoring. One of the best defensive candidates, probably the only other person right now who can knock Jared Jackson Jr. off his perch for that award. Joel Embiid is having a ridiculously, unbelievably good year. And I hate to not give him an award for the 3rd straight year, because I definitely think he should have won it the last 2 seasons. But this year I got him coming up just a wee bit short to my main man, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis, I'm with you on the MVP criteria, but this year I feel like you've hit it. Number 1 team in the NBA. You're putting up unbelievable numbers. Even when you're hurt, you're missing. And you have an all-star teammate, but you don't have a superstar teammate. Doing the damn thing. So Giannis is my MVP. D Snow, what you think about my list, man?
Not gonna lie, man. Shout out to your list as usual. I mean, we got the same guys, just in different positions. This way, I don't have to dig into it because he's not my number 1. But man, Giannis, Bucks, first team to 50 wins, 30 games over 500. Like, that's nuts. Like, in one of the toughest NBA seasons ever, for them to have those. And to be the number 1 team in the East right now, catapulting the Celtics recently, and then holding on to that, Celtics are, a game, maybe a half a game behind, something like that. But hey, I mean, like you just pointed out, that man has another All-Star on the team, but maybe not. I mean, they're not playing him in back-to-backs. They're being very careful, bringing him along slowly, and Giannis is still going out there just being a walking superstar. He's, you know what? There's a difference between, don't like this. There's a difference between G Herbo, who is a great rapper, a superstar, and Drake. Drake is more than a superstar. Drake is a world-renowned superstar. And that's what Giannis is, man. Giannis is man, it's amazing, like I said, to see him continuously get better. Love him in interviews, love his commercials. He's that guy right now, man. I mean, it hurts me to not have him at number one because I do believe that he has a chance to win it again this season if his team continues to play that well. But end of the show, it's time for me to jump into it. So my number 5, same guy that you had there, your man's and mine, Luka the Don. Hey, the numbers speak for themselves. He is, basically the closest thing to LeBron James that we're ever going to see, if you ask me. I mean, 33, 8, and 8. Those are the type of numbers that LeBron gets you. Like we talked about before, he actually has showed us leadership qualities by bringing in Kyrie and trying to figure out how to play well. His numbers have dropped, and that's because he's sharing. He's trying to be more of a team player. He really wants to ring. He doesn't just want to be a guy that makes a lot of money and plays well. He wants to win, and that's what I want to see from my star, from my superstar. I'm excited to see what he's doing this season. Let's roll into number 4. The number 4 on my list this week. He don't belong there. I feel bad. I just gushed over the guy when you had him at number 1. I mean, Giannis is Mr. Glizzy Gone. That's our
Glizzy
dog.
Gone.
That's our dog, man. There's nothing bad I can say about Giannis. I do believe that, and I'm not going to lie, next week he will be high on my list because he does deserve to be higher. I didn't even notice that they were at 50 wins until earlier before the show. And I was like, wow, they're the first team to 50. They're number 1 in the East. I'm tripping, but
in the NBA.
Hey, 31, 12, and 5, man. Hey, jump shots looking good. You can't stop him. He's doing whatever he wants. You getting dunked on. So you might as well eat your Wheaties when you know you sticking Giannis. You getting dunked on tonight. It's happening.
Right.
That's for the old school hoopers. You better eat your Wheaties. Everybody know what that meant.
No doubt.
But yeah, man, jumping into number 3. Who was number 1 on my list last week. He has fallen down. That is Nikola Jokic. Hey, look at me. Because it's Nikola. It's Nikola. But the numbers, man, hey, a center putting up a triple-double, we talk about this every week. It's so exciting to see that. I mean, he's playing well. He's got a smile on his face. You don't want it with his brothers because they bout that life. Just ask the twins. Back down faster than
they ain't been right since.
Ain't been right since. But, Jokic is having a great season, man. In any season, if other guys aren't playing well, that's an automatic MVP. He is doing his thing. Like you said, his numbers have dropped. He does not play defense. If you watch the games, he stays away. He never fouls out. He doesn't give you a 6-5 because he's not really trying to stop nobody. He's really preserving all of his energy to do everything else, and I think it's just the game plan for that team. But the reason why he dropped on my list is because, man, the guys on that team, Michael Porter, what's the point guard? We talk about everybody. Jamal Murray. I mean, hey, Gordon is having a great season over there. I mean, they have a great team around him that without him, they still would be a pretty decent team. I think they're still a playoff team without him. Hey, I don't think he's going to win it again no matter what. I think last year he stole it from Embiid. I don't see him getting it again this year, even though the numbers are phenomenal. Man, shout out to Jokic. You are having a great season. Number 2, man, my guy, Deuce's daddy, JT. Jason Tatum, man. What more can I say about him, man? 30 points, 9 boards, almost 5 assists. The thing that I love about him the most, the thing we talk about every week, the one thing that you don't see from a lot of NBA superstars these days, a guy that can go out there and give you 30 and then go stick the other guy's best player. That's JT. JT's got there bringing it every game. He brings it from end to end, all 93 feet for the whole 4 quarters. And I mean, what can I say? But I mean, like I said, we talk about this every week, man. It's so jumbled and talented in the MVP race this year. It's guys that we want to bring in here. Shout out to Spider. Shout out to Swiper. It's guys that we want to say that should be in the race, but this is a tough year to be in the MVP race. I think Jason Tatum has a chance to win it this year. His team needs to be in the number 1 spot. They need to continue to play well for the last end of the season. But I think it is going to be tough on the voters this year to pick it between these top 3 guys that I've said. So let's get into the number 1. I got him up there this week because he deserves it, and that is Joel Embiid. Hey, man, I thought maybe Philly was going to fall off. But let's talk about it right quick, man. Right now, they're on a 7-game winning streak. They've been balling their ass off. They've been beating the best teams while they're doing this, too. They're not beating cupcakes. They're not beating the Hornets. They're not beating the Wizards. They're beating your favorite players and your favorite team. And Joel is playing defense. He's bringing that energy. He got Philly rocking. I mean, hey, let's be honest here. Your boy, James Harden, leads the league in assists because of Joel Embiid. Let's talk about it. Nobody wants to bring that up. Don't have your chest and your beard out, James. You better thank Joel because your assists weren't that high when he was hurt. And all of a sudden he comes back and you over 10. So, I mean, man, the defense this guy plays, he is the best defensive center in the league right now. Centers don't play defense that much. He brings it every night. You come to the cup. Hey, you saw what he did to Ja a couple of weeks ago. That's one of the best blocks probably in years, bro. Ja is claiming bodies every night. He's trying to dunk on you. He tried to get him. And Embiid said, no. And that's what I love about what I'm seeing from Joel, man. And actually, let's talk about this, too. His mouthpiece has been a little cool. He ain't been doing all the trolling, bro. He been sticking it to basketball. And that's because he wants to win, man. So, I mean, I think he really deserves it. I mean, I know it's tough this year because Giannis is having a great season. Jokic is having a great season. But I really believe, man, Embiid is really showing us that, hey, we've seen it. When he's not there, they're not the same team. They are not the same team without him. James Harden is not the same superstar he used to be. So I think Joel is really starting to especially with the win streak they're on, beating some of the best teams. I think it is going to be so tough. I think we're going to get surprised again this year, man. I think it's going to be another one of those. When it comes out, it's going to be some that are happy and it's going to be some that are mad. But shout out to Trust the Process himself, Mr. Joel Embiid, my MVP.
Nice. I can dig it, man. It's a nice list. Once again, we got the same five players, just a different order. Shout out to the fans. We had a few comments last week. Some of the same people in their lists. I think at this point in the season, everybody's list is about the same, just the order is different.
Yeah.
So this is a fun crunch time that we're in. And I got no complaints about your list, man. Joel was my number 2, so he could easily go number 1. He has been dominating for that team. So I can dig it, man. I can't complain. It's not a bad list you got there, so.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So moving along from our MVPs. Before we get on up out of here, D Snow, the last word.
Hey, man. Get well to my man, the Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards. News came out that, he might be out indefinitely after making all those trades and, crowning him the king of that team. He was actually playing really well, man. Keeping him in the playoff race, doing that thing, and to see him go down that really hurt me, man. I was excited for him. Shout out to Draymond. I knew he wasn't going to make it the rest of the season with that one tech. I knew. And the thing is, the reason why I said shout out to him because he got it out the way. Let's just get that out the way. Get the suspension. Let's move on. That way I can act a fool without feeling like I'm going to hurt my team and be out again. So shout out to you for getting that out the way because we all knew you weren't going to make it. That you just too aggressive on the court with your actions and your body language, bro. You got to chill out. And that Trey Lyles fight, man. Hey, the Lopez brother didn't do nothing, bro. Trey Lyles was out of order, man. He was trying to take that man's head off. He was throwing body blow. He was my man. Hey, Brooke was like this. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm enjoying the NBA season though, man. When it comes to an end, I'm gonna be a sad puppy, man. This has been a great NBA season, seriously.
Yeah, no doubt. And I guess from that point on, we can get on up out of here from us here at the On My Hoops podcast. Appreciate you.
Hey,
please like and subscribe.
Hey, welcome back, Ja. We miss you, boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace out. Have a good week.